Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. On this brand new channel I'm documenting my time racing with Gran Turismo and currently Formula 1 2021. In this video we'll take a look at our next My Team career race and we'll cover the practice sessions, qualifying and the race itself. So this is season 1 race 5 in the calendar and we're off to Monaco and one of my favourite locations. The race is held on the streets around the Principality, which remains largely unchanged from when it held its first Grand Prix back in 1929. And hopefully I want to end up in the harbour like some of those early unfortunate racing drivers. I say that because whilst this is a Grand Prix that I look forward to in real life, it is one that haunts me when I'm driving it. I usually end up in a barrier, running into the back of someone, or I brake too early and somebody rear ends me and pushes me into the barrier. It's tight, fast and very unforgiving, and precision is definitely the name of the game around here. We have some new parts on the car this weekend, but we still lag badly behind in the performance ratings, and we have a largely flat line since the first race in Bahrain. So this is something that we're going to have to work on now that Alfa Romeo have jumped us in the table and Williams are catching us very, very quickly. Looking at the power unit, we're sitting on 50% overall wear and the expected lifespan is now not looking too great. It looks like we're going to be changing that unit for a new one very soon. The gearbox is doing better. It's expected to serve 6 races and after 4 races we're only just 40% worn. So it's doing well and not too much of a concern at this point in the season. Now we opted for a funded team event to boost the morale across all departments and a couple of options to specifically benefit our power team and teammate. Jack has not performed greatly thus far, scoring 0 points, and we seriously need to develop him to get a few points on the board very, very soon and to help towards the Constructors' Championship. So, following a press interview, we headed into the first of the practice sessions. Annoyingly, I chose Valtteri as my main rival in the game, and whilst we are slightly ahead of him at the moment, I feel that might have overstretched myself as we increase the AI and make the races a little bit more challenging. I should really have chosen somebody further down the pecking order, but I guess that we're up for the challenge nonetheless. And we've been doing okay recently, and we are well ahead before spinning in the last race. So I have bumped up the AI for this race by 2 points, and that's probably not a great idea before Monaco when we really need to have a little bit of AI on our side, but it needs bumping, and as I said, we've moved it up 2 points right now. So in the standings, I'm sitting in second place in the Drivers' Championship, splitting Sergio, who is having a great start to the season, and Lewis. Valtteri is close behind in 4th, and Carlos is in touching distance in 5th, but one surprise is Max down in 6th, and he must be looking to get back on terms this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs around this track, which I know he loves. In the Constructors' Championship, we've slipped to 4th and now find ourselves adrift of Ferrari by some margin. With Mercedes and Red Bull fighting it out at the top of the table, we've got some serious work to do, if only just to stay in touch with those front runners. And McLaren are chasing us hard, so we really need a good performance from both of our drivers this weekend. Around Monaco, and considering our results in recent races, my hopes are high, but my expectations are somewhat lower. Whilst Jack is yet to deliver any points, my performance seems to be all or nothing, with a win, a lowly 20th place followed by another win, and then that awful weekend in Spain where we took a 17th place, but that was actually dead last on the track. So, with all of that said, let's head off to Monaco for practice 1. So we've got 3 sunny practice sessions, which is good. So I'm going to opt to drive the first practice session, which is my usual option, and we're going to go with the track acclimatization option. Love these little cameos in the game. They look really nice, and a nice view across the harbour and the main hotel. Many of the hotels are actually overlooking the track, and hopefully we will be able to do something half decent in this race. It's all about the qualifying, so we really need to get a few practice laps in initially to learn the track, get the feel for the car, the rhythm.
They told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Oh boy, I hope they do. We are going to need all the luck and everything in our favour this weekend, so hopefully with the new parts that is going to play a big part.
We can definitely speed up a bit in the following corners. Turn 10, turn 15, turn 16, turn 19.
So this is lap 2 of the practice session, and as you just heard, I'm really slow on way too many corners. I mean, there's a lot of corners in Monaco, a lot of them very tight and twisty, but really I need to be doing a lot better than we are right now. I've managed to get 2 green development boosts, so chaining 5 corners together and the average cornering speed, so you know that's reasonable, but yeah, the fast sector 1 is eluding us at the moment. So as we come around to finish lap 3, missing more of the gates there, and again we don't really do anything with regards to the development boost, so that's really where we ended up. So we dived into the qualifying. The qualifying is everything at Monaco. It's very, very difficult to overtake, so we are really going to throw everything at this and see how we can do. I've already wiped off the nose and the front wing several times in the practice sessions. This is turning out to be a very expensive weekend. Let's hope that that doesn't happen as we start this first lap. Okay, as we climb up the hill, it's all looking okay, and then as we come around to finish off the lap, we just brush the wall. Sebastian Vettel's just put a 1:17 in, so that's what we're looking for, and we are going to be way off that. So we're in position 4, which looks pretty good at the moment, but I have a very strong feeling that a lot of people haven't actually run yet. So we're now coming around to start lap 3, and we'll just run on board during this lap just so that we can see how we're doing around Monaco. As I said, it's very tight, very fast. You've got to watch for your braking points. As you're going up the hill here, it's twisty. Be very careful that you don't catch the barrier and get it slowed down for that corner. We then go down the hill to the tight right-hander before we get into the hairpin. So again, be very careful, running off all the speed. Tightest left-hander, I think, on the whole of the calendar. And we've got a right-hander as we come underneath the hotel. Famously, I had a fire in a hotel one year, and it soaked the track with all the water from the putting the fire out. No issues today, nice and sunny. Hard on the brakes, turning around for those 2 corners, which is really hard. If you don't get your braking point right, you miss that. Should be able to carry a little bit more speed through there. Brave as you like across there as we go around the swimming pool. And then we make a lunge for these last couple of corners, which are super slow, trying to keep it out of the barrier. We did actually touch the barrier there, probably lost an end plate, and as we come across the line we are green sector 1 and sector 2, and we actually won 3 green sectors, and that was to be the best lap of my qualifying session. So we were in 8th, we now dropped to 9th, and unfortunately by the time we got to towards the end of the session, I did end up coming out again because we brought right the way down to 18th, and I came out on softs just to see if we could climb our way up the grid a little bit more, because from 18th that's going to be extremely difficult to do anything.
That looked bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're all right.
Really pushing hard, and we just overcooked it and just caught the barrier as we're going through. We should really be able to go through here flat, but with the car still under development, it just stepped out and we hit the barrier, and another lonely walk through the garage, straight out the back.
Let's
again.
review our top
Not
three
a happy
today.
chap.
Verstappen, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Well, I said earlier on that Max was lagging behind. He's certainly stepping up this weekend. Only 300 tenths of a second ahead of Lewis. Charles Leclerc is close behind, so really tight at the top. And at the bottom, Jack has out-qualified me for the first time. He's in 20th. I'm in 21st, so we're going to be starting alongside each other. And yeah, lots and lots of work to do. As far as the incidents were concerned, just me crashing out. Otherwise, it was a very quiet session. The rivalry breakdown. Well, again, I'm going to start falling behind Valtteri. He out-qualified us. We did manage to come up a little bit on the acclaim, getting up towards level 5. And the team acclaim has come up a little bit too. Not quite as much as we would have liked. So we'll head off into the race and see what we can do from now starting 20th on the grid. So we got a reasonably good start. Jack is in front of us, so we're just going to try and do Jack. We actually made up a couple of places there. That was a much better start than I had expected. We've done George, Nikita, Antonio. Now we're running behind Kimi, trying to throw it up the inside, and yes, a lovely move on Kimi Raikkonen. Really pleased with that. Well, up to 15th. Could this Grand Prix be the time that I actually get some points? So that's Mick and Lance done into that corner. Really cheeky move. And now we need to settle down. We're behind Lewis. We really don't want to take him out again, so we'll just take it a little bit easy through here. And at this point, yeah, Lewis does actually start to get away. He's now coming up for 1.5 seconds ahead of us as we go underneath the hotel, through the tunnel, back out into the daylight, looking for our braking points. And we actually managed to hit it that time. But again, Lewis is running away, and I've got a real train behind me. We've got Lance, Mick, Kimi, Antonio, George. All very close. I have a very strong feeling that I'm going to be at the head of a long train throughout this Grand Prix. So it's going to probably be a defensive Grand Prix for me. I'm going to hope that a few of the front runners have some issues. Maybe that will manage to close up if we get a virtual safety car or a full safety car. Will close things up. Maybe a few accidents, and we might be able to make up a few places. So this is Jack's start. He got away okay, not quite as good as me, but then Latifi came over and blocked him off, which then let the other car through. I think that was Mazepin with a good start there, and Jack was in 21st as we went up the hill, so he got mugged a little bit on that start, a little bit cautious, and that's not going to bode well for a track where it's notoriously difficult to overtake. And then on lap 2, you can see that I've got Lance really pushing me, about half a second behind, and deep into really just defensive driving, constantly trying to keep that half second a lap, keep it out of the barriers, and just try and keep Lance behind. Obviously he's blocking Mick and Kimi and Antonio, so it's more Lance that I'm watching in my mirrors. A few lockups as I are braking a little bit more deep than I should, just to try and keep the Aston Martin behind. As we turn right and then right again to come underneath the hotel again. Just trying to keep it quick, get on the power as we go through really fast through here. I'm moving around a little bit more than I would like, under braking, squirming as well. And then from lap 6, we're looking back from Kimi, and you can see how I am really bottlenecking this little train. They must be getting sick and tired of being stuck behind me. Lap 7 and we're on board. Nice little on-board shot here. And cutting that corner, if you don't get your braking point right there, you're going to miss that. I suspect that the tyres are starting to wear a little bit, so I've got to adjust my braking point accordingly. But we are managing to keep Lance behind us at the moment. It's still half a second, he's still right there. And lots of pressure, so thankfully he dives into the pits, which gives me a little bit of a breathing space, but we have got to get on it now. Can we jump anybody in the pit stop phase? I'm going to try in the overcut rather than the undercut. I don't know whether it's going to work, but we are up to 8th position by lap 9. That's not realistic because we haven't pitted. Many of the others have. So I don't know where we're going to come out after our pit stop, but really pushing as hard as we can, and we lock it up, and we do actually touch the barrier there, which lets a few cars through. That's not good. We've got Pierre Gasly and Raikkonen have overtaken me, so all of that good work that we did earlier on, all undone. Did manage to keep Danny behind us, but for how long, I really don't know. And as per usual, once you make a mistake, you then start worrying about whether you're going to make more, so I'm concerned about the tyres at this point. Should I come in sooner? Who knows? So just really pushing on. As we come out of the tunnel, we've actually lost our front wing. So yet another front wing has gone, and that's going to crucify us now. The loss of downforce around here is going to be extremely painful. It didn't take long for Daniel to get by us. And then we've got Fernando's done us, Sebastian has done us. And we're losing places hand over fist. It won't be long before Lewis is by, although it looks like I'm going to be able to dive into the pits before he overtakes us. But that, I fear, is going to be game over. Another wing. It's a very expensive weekend for Mitchell Morgan Racing. I really need to be getting cash into the team so that we can develop our teammates and also develop in other areas. So buying lots of wings is going to be difficult, and I think I've probably put more wings on this car this weekend than most of the teams take to a real Grand Prix. I think that's probably the 4th or 5th wing that I've had to put on this car this weekend. So not feeling too good about things at the moment, and by lap 14th we're running dead last. So replay of last weekend, although it wasn't an infringement, a penalty under the safety car, and we're going to need to really push now to try and catch up with Mick, who's nearly a second a lap. Oh, we've nerfed the wall again, bits flying off, and we've actually punctured our rear tyre. It's taking that off of the rim. It looks like we might have done some gearbox damage as well. Seem to be struggling for power. We've got to try and get this round as quickly as we can, losing time all the time here. Oh no, that's it, game over. We caught the barrier one side, pushed us across the track, and then we caught the barrier on the other side. So not good. Rivalry breakdown, really disappointing. That's really let Valtteri come back. 15-12 now. A clean sweep from Valtteri. Our team acclaim has come up to 6 for ourselves, and can we make 8 on the team? Yes, we can. So we've done a little bit there, but oh boy, that was not good. Not good at all. No points, so we lost out on the money from our sponsor. Disappointing. And the base payout completely wiped out on my side. Very costly in front wings, so that's really not helped the bank balance one iota. A really poor weekend from me, and a poor weekend all round. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a like, and it's a new channel. I would welcome you to subscribe if you will. I'm trying to build up the subscriber count at the moment. It's always very slow when you're first starting out, but if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would help me out a lot. And I look forward to seeing you on another video coming very soon. In the meantime, take care, look after yourself. Bye-bye.